Hey YouTube, welcome back to my channel. So if you are visiting my channel for the first time, my name is Marsh Pillai. I make videos about money related to cars, house, stock trading, etc. These topics interest you, please consider subscribing. So today's topic is going to be a fun one. I'm going to talk about 5 reasons why I think a C8 Corvette is better than a C7 Corvette. Let's get again, these are my opinions only, not facts. So with that said, let's begin. So the first thing is the looks. I mean, just look at it. Do I really need to talk about this more? I mean, just look at it from every angle. GM just hit the nail on the head with this one, man. Just look at it. Just look at the lines, the aggressiveness. So that's gonna be my first one. I mean, don't get me wrong, I owned a C7 Corvette before. That's definitely a good looking car, but this one's a better looking car. This one looks more like an exotic. Second reason why I think a C8 Corvette is better than a C7 Corvette is simply because of the supercar elements that they introduced with this generation. So let me explain, right? Look at the steering wheel. This looks very similar to a Ford GT or a LaFerrari steering wheel. Of course, I'm not comparing a C8 Corvette to a LaFerrari or Ford GT. Of course, those are very expensive vehicles compared to a C8. But what I am saying is the design cues. And now look at the gear shifters, right? So it's more Lamborghini inspired, like where you have to pull for drive and pull for reverse. And some of the other features, like when you pull both the paddle shifters, it takes you to neutral, and you can use that to rev up the engine and stuff like that, right? So that is taken from a 458 Ferrari, I believe. So GM didn't have to do all that, right? But they did it anyways. And those are the features that's not in a C7. So basically through a C8, you get to experience a lot of the supercar features and elements basically at a fraction of the cost. So the third thing is the dual clutch transmission. So if you have driven a C7 Corvette before, you know that's a single clutch transmission. And when I drove my C7, I've always felt that the transmission shifts are a little slower, and you also had the clunkiness in the transmission. So what I mean by that is when you shift the gears, there's a back and forth bob effect. Like it makes you go back and forth because it's just not smoother. When you drive a C8, it's a totally different experience, a day and night difference because of the transmission, because it's quicker, number one, and number two, it's smoother. So when you drive, there's no clunkiness and you can shift between gears very quickly. So let me throw some footage to explain that better. So number 4 is the engine being in the back, right? So when you have the engine in the back, you basically can hear the exhaust a little bit better. So let me show y'all what I mean. If I were to start it. So it's right next to your ear. And basically you can hear the engine better this way. And also the feeling of being pulled versus pushed. So in a C7 Corvette, as you know, the engine's in the front, so you get pulled. Versus in a C8 Corvette where the engine is in the back, you get pushed. So it's a totally different experience. Personally, having driven both C7 Corvette and a C8 Corvette before, I prefer being pushed, the C8 Corvette experience. Number 5, why I think a C8 Corvette is better than a C7 Corvette is the convertible options the vehicle came with. So let me explain. For a C7 Corvette, you had 2 options, either to get a soft top rag convertible or get a hard top C7 Corvette where you can still have the top down experience, but you have to manually take that and put it in your trunk. So with that option, I mean, of course, you have to get out of the car and put it in the trunk. So let's say if you're driving and it rains, you're fucked. With the C7, you basically have to pick either you want the look and get the hardtop, or get the open top experience with a convertible option, right? So with the C8, there's no compromise needed. So you get the look of a hardtop, and also if you want to have a convertible open top experience in a flick of a button, you can experience that. So to demonstrate that, I'm gonna show y'all how it works. First, I'm gonna start her up, and I'm gonna unlock and press the convertible, and the magic begins. 16 seconds, boom, it's done. And with that, you can get the open top experience. So this option was not available in the C7 Corvette, and this is reason number 5 why I think a C8 Corvette is better than a C7 Corvette. So this wraps up today's video. I appreciate y'all watching. For more C8 content, please subscribe, and make sure on your way out, hit the like button for me. With that said, I'm out, and I'll see y'all on the next one.